top stories and headlines. This first one, Doug Luzader is breaking down for us the Supreme Court battle that's looming. The countdown clock was actually for that Supreme Court pick that President Trump has already said he is going to officially make on Monday. So let's get you all caught up there.
For the president, this isn't so much about coming up with a pick that will placate Democrats. It's about finding someone that conservatives can unite behind. President Trump at a boisterous rally in Montana last night, teasing the announcement that is now just 3 days away.
And if you turn in Monday at 9 o'clock, I think you're going to be extremely happy with this election, right?
The president had been considering 7 candidates for the high court that we know of, sticking to a list of potential nominees that he put forward during the 2016 campaign. But of those 7, 3 are now considered frontrunners. They are all federal appellate court judges: Brett Kavanaugh, Raymond Kethledge, and Amy Coney Barrett. Barrett would be perhaps the most controversial, someone who has already sparred with Democrats during a nomination fight. Kavanaugh has plenty of experience, but the fact that he is based in Washington could actually work against him. So it's Kethledge that may be emerging as the front-runner among frontrunners, someone who may be able to win widespread conservative support.
And the rumor, the buzz, is that as of now, today, and this can change, the president really hit it off with Kethledge, and he may be the new frontrunner, even being a dark horse a day or two ago.
Now, the one thing these 3 potential frontrunners have in common is their relative youth. The oldest among them is 53, so this is a decision that could have a lasting impact on the court. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
All right, anyone currently watching a Vietnam veteran or know somebody who is, or maybe just a history buff, especially when it comes to military and U.S. past wars? Well, this weekend, the Vietnam Memorial, the traveling wall, is here in the valley. You have a chance to check it out.
It's got to be down the bottom here someplace.
There are 57,939 names.
Francis Bond.
Among them, Francis Bond, a childhood friend of Paul Bernard's.
He was wounded once and then returned after being, taken care of at the hospital. He went back to Vietnam and that's where he passed away, and I believe it was 1970.
Decades later, the emotions still run high for those who survived, like Bernard, a Navy veteran, who is grateful for the opportunity for one more trip back in time. A look at a replica of the Vietnam Memorial that stands in our nation's capital.
Maybe allow some people to be enlightened of things that happened.
Paul Fry with the City of Surprise says bringing the traveling memorial here took years of planning. Volunteers spent all morning assembling it. The replica was unveiled on Veterans Day in 1996 by the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. So those who can't travel to D.C. can honor the men and women who served in Vietnam, like Robert Weber, who completed 3 tours.
Because when we first came back, Vietnam veterans weren't treated nicely.
The kids today don't remember Vietnam, that's for sure, but most of their grandparents do.
Bernard eventually found his friend's name on panel 9W, line 68. His hope is that every name here, on every panel, on every line, is remembered and recognized for their sacrifice. Anita Roman, Fox 10 News.
That wall does have healing powers, whether it be the actual Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C., or the traveling wall. It helps a lot of people. A lot of you know my dad is a Vietnam veteran. I asked him if he'd like to go see the traveling wall this weekend, and he said, no thanks. I've seen the real one in D.C. We went to Washington, D.C. a long time ago when I was in 3rd grade, and it was a trip I will never forget. If you've never been to our nation's capital and you have an opportunity to, it is a very unique experience. Okay, well, this next story, we're going to take you back out to California, Los Angeles area. Man goes on a rant against trespassing skateboarders. I actually know this reporter who put together this story, Bill Malugin. We went to the Walter Cronkite School at Arizona State University together and did Cronkite News Watch. So let's watch.
Oh, really? All you are is a little coward. All you are is a piece of
It all started as a heated confrontation between an older man and a young skateboarder.
I am so close to this you.
Oh, yeah?
But things would quickly take a racial turn.
My bad. You Mexican piece of
racist.
It all went down last Thursday here at this parking lot at the 29,000 block of Western Avenue in San Pedro. We're told the older man rents an office here, where no skateboarding signs dot the property.
There was another way he could have came up to the kids and told them to leave.
Willie Galaz posted the video of that confrontation, and his son was one of the skaters involved.
What gave me the strength to post the video was the kid who was keeping his composure in that situation where he had a grown man yelling in his face.
This boy was also one of the skaters there. He told me the man came out of the building angry they were skateboarding and threatening to have them arrested, and that's when the video started rolling.
I'm a racist.
Hey, come on. I don't give a
At least I'm sorry.
I guess he just looked around and was looking at the kid and started to judge the kid because he was Mexican.
Very bad to see an adult behave that way, but also the children to, also be disrespectful from their end also.
Donald Galaz says there may be more to the story than what's seen on the video because we don't see the start of it.
I feel that this gentleman should have his say in this also. And, as an adult myself, I've been in the situation and reacted similar to what this man did.
The Galazes aren't okay with the man's reaction.
They're racist, dude.
But they don't believe he's a racist, and they're willing to give him another chance.
I just feel he lost his cool. He felt as an adult they weren't listening, and he just snapped.
Get out of here. Get off the property.
One line in that story that stuck out to me is there's more than likely more to the story than what's shown in the video. As a journalist, I think about that all the time, including another video that went viral this week. Did you see what happened at a San Antonio, Texas Whataburger in regards to a teenager wearing a Make America Great Again hat? If not, you might want to look it up. I'd be interested to read some of your YouTube chat comments on that one. Well, I told you at the end of Fox 10 Extra, from 10 a.m. to noon, Mike Pace was your host today. I told you that there was a situation out of Tennessee where 100 cats were rescued from a home. Let's get the update here. I believe one, maybe two people were charged in this case.
Police say 53-year-old Damon Sashini and 75-year-old Kathleen Shanahan have been charged with animal cruelty after their RV had been found with around 100 cats inside crates and boxes. The reason as to why there were that many cats in the RV is unknown. Those cats are now in the care of the Rutherford County Pet Adoption and Welfare Services, aka PAWS, in Murfreesboro.
We received a call from local law enforcement that there were some concerns about an RV that was not supposed to be on Walmart's property and also some animals involved.
Once PAWS arrived on scene, they saw the two people responsible get arrested outside the RV. Once inside, the discovery of animals everywhere.
I think one passed away. The majority of them, the rest of them were about 75% feral or barn cats, not very sociable, but there is a handful of them that could be adoptable pets and go in the home.
The next step is to have all of the cats spayed and neutered before they go to their homes. You can adopt the cats by contacting PAWS on the phone or via Facebook. And while animal control is used to hoarding situations, this most recent one in an RV is definitely a first.
Animal control, I would say that's definitely a new, probably decently new one for us as far as the RV, but animal control has been out to homes in different hoarder type situations before, so they were definitely prepared and came out there and knew what they were doing.
Anybody watching in Orlando, it looks like you're having some serious storms rolling through your area. I'll see if I can get a live picture there and bring it up, weather related. Okay, so graffiti is almost in every community, right? Not just in the U.S., but worldwide. Graffiti is very common. Well, I've noticed here, especially in downtown Phoenix, people are putting up murals instead on walls and other sorts of things, buildings even, to protect them from graffiti because they feel like people will be less likely to graffiti on a work of art that's purposely there, right? Like you wouldn't want to ruin somebody else's work. And some people do consider graffiti art. So this next story is about mural artists fighting graffiti.
The This is Thornton right here.
At the corner of Huron and Milky Way, you'll find a utility box that's out of this world.
What I did is I did a painting of the Milky Way, so this is the Milky Way right here.
It was created by Jerry Jaramillo.
Really was a lot of fun doing because of location and all that.
His work is part of a project called Outside the Box, where artists use utility boxes as their canvas.
I go, wow, that's cool.
What's cool about it is the fact that it's designed to help combat graffiti.
I think it's the greatest program. I think this is something that's been needed for years.
About 70% of Thornton's graffiti problem is sprayed and smeared on its poles and utility boxes.
Which isn't cool, you know.
Communities like Thornton, Adams County, Loveland, and Fort Collins have these programs in place, and so far they've been successful.
A lot of times graffiti artists are artists themselves, so they'll have respect for other artists' work. So
in Thornton, 15 utility box art murals are being added this summer, up from 7 the summer before. And next year, more than 30 will pop up.
Every artist has their own type of style.
Helping wipe away graffiti, all while making Colorado a little more colorful.
And the response from the people in the community, they're pretty positive about it, and they go, wow, they really liked it.
So cool when communities use artwork to do stuff like this. You know, if you want to learn more about the project, just log on to our website at kdvr.com. That's where we'll have more information for you. In Thornton, I'm Kevin Torres, Fox 31.